Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. And on today's video we are going to be looking at this. It's the brand new offering from JJRC. It's their C8815 1/10 scale Willys Jeep replica. Now if you've got a long memory and you're familiar with JJRC, about 3 years ago I tested the original version of this from JJRC, which is called the Q65. It was basically a cheap knockoff poor man's rock hobby Jeep. It was okay actually for the money. I think it was only about 30 quid then. I mean, this thing is retailing on Banggood now for about 42 quid, which is still cheap. But back then, it only come with a little 130 motor, and it was a bit underpowered. But apart from that, it was a nice little RC replica of a Jeep. Anyway, they brought a new version out, and they've completely redone everything, I think. So I'm very, very interested to see what is involved in this new Jeep. Like I say, it was a sort of a really cheap version of a rock hobby 1/10 scale Jeep, but it was actually quite good. I quite liked it. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Let's crack the box open and see what's changed. Right then, in the box we have the instructions. We've got a little USB battery charger and a little screwdriver. We've got one transmitter in Army Olive Drab. First impressions, it's quite small and very plasticky feeling, but the thing is only 42 quid, so we can forgive it that. It says light control on the top, and we've got these nice touch buttons. Actually, they do feel really nice. One says retract, one says release. I have no idea what they do. Right, I have had the cheaper version. If you buy the dearer version, it comes with a canvas hood and a winch, so I bet those are the winch controls, you know. Last but not least, I think there might be 2 AA batteries that you have to supply as well. But last but not least, we have the actual Jeep itself. Now, bearing in mind this is only 42 quid, that is a really, really nice looking model. I'm not kidding you. It is absolutely bang on. I mean, the old version, I mean, I can just look at the screen here. We've got an actual plastic screen where the old version didn't have any of this detail at all. I mean, if we go round the back, we've got a spare tyre. We've got proper tools here. We've got a proper little mirror. I don't know if you can see on the video, we've got like a little interior with the dials and the gauges and some information plaques there with the little gear sticks and everything. Genuinely, oh, that's for the hood as well, so the canvas hood, isn't it? Genuinely, oh yeah, it goes like that, I think. Let's have a quick. Oh yeah, look at that, bloody hell, that's brilliant. Straight off the bat, this is much better than the original version of the Q65. I think there's a battery, is it underneath? Oh yes, there we go. So we've got a little battery and a little Velcro strap. What is it, 500 milliamp hour. It's a 3-pin jobby, just like WPL battery, 7.4 volt, keep him there. Metal hinges on the bonnet. This thing looks really, really nice, I'm not going to lie. I mean, 42 quid on Banggood at the moment. It's cheap as chips. It looks like we've got a full set of lights as well. We'll try them out in a minute. It's 4-wheel drive, this thing. It's completely different now. The original one had a similar sort of ladder frame, but I think it was sort of based on a Q61. The motor's right up the front there. There's like a little drop box, transfer box there. These axles are, there's no diffs in them. We've got a little micro steering servo at the front there. And these high lift suspension kit with little straps there to make it nice and pliable. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, straight off the bat, I'm really, really impressed with this thing for 42 quid. It's cheap as chips, and it's a lovely little replica of a Jeep. I mean, I'm not a massive, massive fan of Jeeps, but they've done a really nice job on this thing. It looks really good. I'm dying to take the bodywork off and have a quick look underneath, but the first impressions, it looks an absolute belter. Right guys, I was having a look around this thing, and there's a linkage that links the steering to the steering wheel. So watch when I turn the wheels, the steering wheel moves at the same time. Oh, that's just brilliant. Right, so underneath the body we've got our 280 motor. That'll give it plenty of grunt, that will. We've got a little micro 3-wire steering servo. We've got our ESC and receiver board in that little compartment there with an on-off switch. But I'm loving this little drop box and transfer case here. Like I say, on the previous version, it was just that 130 motor that you got in the Q60, Q61, which is a bit weedy. And this thing is going to be totally different, I bet. I think the other version as well, I think it was something like 4 volt as well. Like this is 7.2, but this thing is really nice. Right, I've just partially charged the battery. I thought I'd check the lights. There we go, headlights nice and bright. We've also got indicators on this. There we go, at the front. Now if we go to the rear, we've got our little stop lights here, well, tail lights I should say. There's one sort of hiding there underneath the spare tyre. We've also got indicators on the back. There we go, one on that side. And we've also got this little spot lamp here, illuminates when we press the light button. So I've also got an extra little spotlight there, which is really cool. This thing is looking really nice. Like I say, I'll put the battery back on charge. I just want to check the lights. Inside, what do we think of the brand new JJRC JEEP here? Let's have some pros and cons, shall we? We'd not break with tradition. We'll go with the cons first. First of which was, I do have a little confession to make. I did have to strip the front axle before I ran it because there was a horrendous tight spot. And when I took the thing apart, it was just a piece of flash that hadn't been trimmed properly from the end of the axle, the little T-piece. It was just binding on the cup inside. So I did have to fix that before I took it out. Second con is the turning circle on this thing is horrendous. It's like a super tanker. There's virtually no steering lock. I don't know if you could actually cut away some of the little stops and improve it, but turning circle is pretty rubbish. And the third thing I didn't like about this thing, and it's more to do with the power that this thing kicks out because of that 280 motor, was these plastic drive shafts. I personally do not think they are going to last 5 minutes. Then let's have some things we did like about it. First of which was the battery life. I got about 15-20 minutes out of it, which is pretty standard for a battery of that size. I did like the extra power that this thing kicks out over the 130 motor. That 280 motor and gearbox is a lot nicer unit in this thing. It really does give it a bit of extra grunt. It's a lot better than the original Q65. Thirdly, we have to mention the looks. JJRC have done a bang up job on this. This thing looks absolutely amazing. If you're into scale military trucks and you're into RCs, then you need to get yourself one of these, especially at the price. It looks $1 million. I absolutely love the price of this thing. I mean, it literally would be cheap at half the price it was. I mean, you can pick them up. I've seen them on AliExpress for sort of 40 quid plus shipping. For what you get, it's an absolute bargain. And last but not least, it does make a good little trail truck, this. I mean, it's no crawler, so you shouldn't expect too much of it, but it made a decent job of where I took it. It's the worst sort of conditions for a small RC at the moment because there's loads of leaves on the ground, but to be honest, it didn't really faze it. But it does make a nice little trail truck. Right, the conclusions, I would recommend the updated JJRC Jeep to you guys. I'm going to say absolutely yes. This thing is better than the original in almost every single metric. More power, it looks better, it's just a nicer all-round RC, and the price is absolutely bang on. For the money, it's such a lot of RC. So yeah, it gets a massive thumbs up from me. It's probably one of the best little budget RCs out there at the moment. As ever, there'll be a link in the description to where you can go and get this thing from. Be quick, because I've got a sneaky feeling JJRC would realise their mistake in making this thing too cheap, and it'd probably be double the price. Anyway, if you found the video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference to the channel. It really does. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again very soon. Thank you.